So meet Carla, the accidental landlord. Carla bought a duplex a few years ago and kept it in her own name because the bank and the closing attorneys says this is the easiest way. So the deed shows Carla Smith, the mortgage is in her name, and the rent hits the same checking account that Carla uses for groceries, Netflix, going out with her girls, getting her nails done, and so on. So it is going to her personal checking account. So one winter, the tenant's guest slips on an icy steps, breaks an ankle, and hires a lawyer. The lawsuit it doesn't just name Carla's duplex. It names Carla personally because there's no LLC between the property and her house, her savings, her W-2 wages, and all of those things are now on the table in settlement negotiations. That's the core problem, and LLC is designed to fix exactly those types of scenarios for landlords. In this video also, we're going to talk about exactly what an LLC does and what it doesn't. Okay, so think of an LLC like a separate bucket that holds the messy rental property. When you deed the property into, say, Carla, let's just call it Carla Holdings LLC, and run everything through that LLC, a typical tenant lawsuit hits the LLC's bucket, and it hits the LLC first and not your personal bucket, right? So not your personal account, not your personal assets. So in practice, a properly used LLC for rentals can, one, put a legal wall between your rentals and your personal income, your personal home, your car, and also your savings. So claims tied to that property stops at the LLC's assets. Keep each investment risk mostly contained, especially if you use more than one LLC instead of dumping everything into a single entity. There are several ways you can do this as well. So me personally, I have a lot of my rental properties under LLCs, and also this is just another addition, another layer of protection where I also have a management company. There's a rental agreement between my LLC and the management company. So the LLC owns the property and the management company manages the properties. It collects rent. It does the whole thing. It does everything. There's just another added layer that you might want to think about, especially if you have more than three, a couple of units, more than 2, 3 investment properties. There's something you might want to look into. So just when you set things up this way, it makes it look like a real business. So let's say Carla Holdings LLC, they collect rent, pay vendors. That sounds more serious to tenants, contractors, and potential partners. Flow the income and expenses through your personal tax return, which is passed through, so you're not dealing with corporate double taxation. But this is a lot of misconception that this is not if I put everything in LLC, then I'm automatically protected. This is not how this works, right? This is not a magic armor. If you're personally negligent, meaning if you ignore safety issues, if you drive drunk to the property and you hit something or you hit someone on your way to the property or while you're there, committing fraud, you can still get sued personally. The LLC does not protect you from that. If you mix money or ignore basic formalities, a court can, what they refer to as, pierce the corporate veil and treat your LLC as you. Or they'll take the LLC and they'll say you and the LLC are the same person. Financing also can be trickier and sometimes more expensive for properties held in an LLC, especially conventional mortgages. The LLC is very powerful, but only if you actually use it like a business.